We are going to chat all things time saving tips. I'm going to share with you things that I do every single day to help save me time. Stick around. Welcome to the channel. My name is Morgan here at The Life of Tillmans. If this is your first time, I am so happy to have you. Welcome, welcome, and welcome. I hope that while you're here, you find everything that you need, love, and enjoy. Don't forget, click that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you do not miss any of the videos uploaded here. If you've been with me before, welcome back. I was thinking the other day and talking to my girls about time. Obviously, we do not have an abundance of time in our lives. Nobody does. And we were discussing ways that we do things every single day that help save us time. I think at this moment they were, maybe like playing around in the living room, but then one had to go to dance and one had basketball. And I'm like, hey guys, we don't have time. We've got to get this done so that we can get out of here on time. We need to leave by a certain time in order to get there on time. And it had me thinking, what are other things that I do on a daily basis that really help save us time? And I came up with a list. These things are a habit for me that I do all the time, so I didn't necessarily realize it. But before, I put these things in place because I felt like I didn't have enough time to do the things that I needed to do. And part of it was just simply not having specific things in place to help with that. We can all use time-saving tips. I'm just going to share with you all what I do and the reason why. I have 10 time-saving tips that I do every single day. Get your paper and your pen and let's get started. All right, I have my paper in front of me because I really had to write them down. I was like, wait a minute, I do all of these things. Number one, and I've talked about it before, I will link the video down below, but meal planning. Meal planning has saved me so much time because I sit down at the beginning or about halfway through for the next week. Like if it's Wednesday, I'm going to sit down on Wednesday and plan out meals for the upcoming week or two, just depending on how fancy I'm feeling. But meal planning, it is so helpful because what it does is keep us from having to think about something else. We literally have 50,000 things going on in our heads every single day, all the time. So when you add in having to think about what your family is going to eat, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, it can be so overwhelming. It's just, I say 4 more things or 5, depending if you snack twice a day. But additional things for us to really have to think about. When I started meal planning and saying, okay, this is what we're having, it cut back on the amount of time that I had to think about those things. It also cut back on questions from my family. What are we eating for breakfast? What are we eating for lunch, dinner? What are we eating for snack? What time can we have snack? So many things were eliminated. It just took a lot off of my plate with meal planning. So if you don't meal plan, I highly suggest it. A lot of people find that it can be really overwhelming trying to figure out what it is that you are going to eat. But I simply say, start with a week. And if a week is too much, start with 3 or 4 days. Give yourself an opportunity to grow. There are some people who plan out an entire month or 2 months worth of meals. I am not that person. However, I definitely encourage you to at least do a week at a time to give yourself some space to grow. Also with meal planning, it helps to cut down on that extra shopping because we know that if we don't have a plan, have a grocery list and everything set out, you get in the store and you're like, ooh, I want this. Ooh, I'm gonna grab this. Oh, this looks good. And not to mention, if you take your children with you, then you have all of those little hands. For me, there's 6 additional hands that are grabbing things and begging for things and wanting stuff that is not on the list. I have found that when I have a list and I give that list to one of my daughters to control, meaning she has to tell us what it is that we need off of that list. I have the other 2 daughters grabbing the food when we get to those specific aisles. There's so much less begging and asking for things that are not on the list that we don't need, and it saves us time when we go to the grocery store, okay? Number 2 goes right along with meal planning, and that is meal prepping. Take some time on the weekend once you have planned out your meals and prep the food, because chopping up fruits and vegetables, washing things, storing, fixing salad material, All of those things can be prepped ahead. You can also prep ahead. I've done a video on that before as well, but certain meals, casserole dishes, you can make those ahead and put them in the freezer. Breakfast items, we prep breakfast every single week, you guys, every week. Every single week, because it makes things so much easier for me when I already wake up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, and then I don't have to think about breakfast. I just simply walk to the freezer, open it up, and I pull out what I've already planned with my meal planning for breakfast. Time saving amazingness. The third thing that we do is a cleaning schedule. I know that a lot of people are not okay with those types of schedules. They feel like they are too rigid. I completely understand if that's not your jam. However, for us, having a cleaning schedule lets us know when we need to do things. It's written down. There's no question about it. We don't have to decide what we're going to clean on a specific day and when we're going to do it. We know that today is bathroom cleaning day. Tomorrow, we are going to mop the floors and dust the living room and the kitchen. Whatever it may be, that helps us. It's 1 or 50 less things to have to think about when it comes to your everyday lives. We make so many decisions in a day and have so many thoughts run across our brains. Anytime that you can eliminate something that you don't have to worry about, it's amazing. It frees up space for relaxation. It frees up space for something else, whatever it is that we may need. So if you have a cleaning schedule or you kind of started one and you need to tweak it a little bit, stick to that cleaning schedule because it will definitely save you time in the end. Number 4, and this is not a sponsored thing, but we have a shared family calendar. Yes, my husband and I use an app called Cozy, C-O-Z-Y, and it is a shared family calendar. It helps us so much because, you guys, my husband does a lot. He travels a lot. Even if your spouse, significant other does not travel, just knowing what is going on in each family member's life, all in one central location, has been amazing. We've been using the Cozy app now for, I believe, 2 years. And over the last year, we really ramped up, and I've really been encouraging my husband to use it, and he's done it because he sees how helpful it is for us. I don't have to call him if I need to schedule something and say, do we have anything going on this day and this time? I don't have to call him for that reason. Of course, I call him for tons of other stuff because he's my hubby, but I don't have to pick up the phone to call him for those things. If I'm in the middle of leaving a doctor's visit and I need to schedule another visit, I don't have to check with him before I can schedule. I'm there right then. I pull out the Cozy app. I look on my phone. We have nothing scheduled for this time. Let's do it. He knows that we have basketball and dance and what times those things are, to where when he comes home, he knows what our schedule is. So he doesn't have to call and say, hey, where are you guys today? Unless something major happened, which he would know that anyway because I would let him know. He knows that we're at basketball practice from 6:30 to 7:30 on Thursdays, and that one of my daughters needs to be picked up from dance at 8:30. It has been amazing with saving us time, with having to schedule additional things and figuring out what's going on in each other's lives. Because yes, we do have separate things. He travels. I'm here with the girls doing homeschool. When he comes home, he comes right into our activities that we have going on, and we do those things as a family. Also, we have daughters who have dance routines and basketball tournaments every weekend. I put everything in that schedule. Everyone knows what's going on. It sends you reminders for whatever set time frame. Usually I do 30 to 45 minutes, but I can change that. Say we need to go somewhere and it's an hour away. I know that I need to leave the house at least an hour and 15 minutes ahead of time so that I can actually get there on time. So I'll put a reminder in for that amount of time, that time frame. It's been wonderful. Everyone in your family can use it. Our girls are on there as well, even though they don't have devices, but that helps us to know who has to do that specific activity. You assign different color codes to it. Amazing. Check out the Cozy app when you have a chance. And if you need it, grab it, use it. It's been wonderful. All right. Number 5 is I have a planner that I use every single day. And every day, even the night before, I check that planner to see what's coming up. What that does is save me time of moving on to something else that was not on my schedule, because we get that way. There's so many things going on. We have so many things that pop up in our head, and we forget. We forget that at 7:45 in the morning, we were supposed to do a phone call with, I don't know, someone, because maybe it's not on your calendar. Get that Cozy's calendar. Or we didn't look at our planner the night before to refresh our mind. And when we woke up the next morning, we still didn't look at our planner. Having a planner for me has been amazing. I do write in erasable pen because things change, but just having a planner has been so helpful. It's funny because the girls will even go to my planner because it has our meal for the day in there. And if they want to see what we are eating for breakfast and they want to know what's there, they simply open up the planner to the specific day and they know what we're having, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They don't have to come and ask mommy. Yes, that is always a win when they can answer questions on their own. Absolutely. All right, number 6, and this may seem like, well, you're homeschooling, but the girls have clothes picked out in their closet. They have outfits set together already. They don't have to worry about going to their closet if they decide to put on real clothes, because we definitely do a lot of school days in our pajamas. But if they decide to put on clothes, they don't have to go to the closet and say, I wonder if I can wear this with this or this with this. They have 5 outfits already picked out, and they may not wear those outfits for 3 or 4 days after they've been picked out, but the fact that they are already there. They usually have one for different weather. So they may have a long sleeve shirt with pants because it's starting to get a little cooler. They may have a pair of gym shorts and a t-shirt for a relaxing day, whatever it may be. But they have 5 outfits already put together in their closet. When they open up that closet door, they see that they can just pull those things out, whatever it is that they're wanting to wear, and they don't have to worry about matching it up. It has saved a lot of time, especially when you're talking about children, because they feel certain ways throughout the day and from day to day. Like my 4-year-old, there are days where she doesn't want to put on anything, but she wants to stay in her pajamas, and I'm fine with that. But then she knows, even at 4, she can go to her closet and pull out the shirt and pants that are hanging up together. They're on the same hanger. Pull those out and put those on. So much easier, saves so much time, less decision making for your children and you. Allow them to dress themselves and pick out some outfits. Okay, number 7 is have a running list of things to do, things that you need, grocery store list. Keep a running list. You may go into the kitchen to fix breakfast and you realize that you're out of salsa for those breakfast burritos that your children love. Guess what happens if you don't immediately put that on the list right then? You're going to forget. Keep a running list of things that you need and things that you need to do, shopping list and to-do list, because it just helps save you time. That way you don't sit down and you're like, oh my gosh, what was it? I completely forgot. I needed to put something on this list and I forgot what it was. Now you're all frantic because you feel like whatever it was that you were supposed to put on the list is going to like make or break your whole entire day. And really, it probably won't. But the fact that you know that there was something that you forgot and did not put on that list is stressful. It's a little stressful. So if you come across something that you need right then in that moment, put it on your list. I have a list on my refrigerator also. The girls know if they run out or, oh, the bread is getting low, they'll write bread on the list. If we're running low on something, the entire family can go to that list that's on the refrigerator and they can write it down. I then take that list and put it to a list on my phone or in my planner, whichever one I decide. And that is how I keep a running list of like items that we need within our house. If it's a list of things to do, I know that things come up and they change. I keep those items on the list, but I also prioritize that list because something that I may want to do may not be a priority and I may not have to do it until December. So it can move a little further down on my list, but at least it doesn't leave until it's completed and I don't forget what it is that I want it to do. Number 8 is putting a time limit on things. Yes, we need time limits. If you're reading a book, set a time limit. If you are working in your planner, set a time limit. If you are planning something out, set a time limit. Give yourself a time limit because we can find ourselves going down this rabbit trail and next thing you know, it's been an hour. I don't have an hour to spend on planning because all you do is plan and then you never get it done, right? So I set time limits for things. If I'm going to sit down and watch TV, Yes, I do set a time limit unless it's on the weekend, because next thing you know, you've binge watched. I can't even get the word out. You've binge watched like 10 hours, 10 shows, and time just like flew away. Maybe not 10 hours because that's a little extreme, but I know that there are times when you do it, especially if you're on vacation, which then you should be doing that anyway. But set a time limit. Some of my time limits may be that I'm only going to watch one show, 45 minutes, and that's it. I'm not going to sit down and watch every single show that I wanted to watch for the entire week, all in one day, in one sitting. No, so you set time limits. It gives us boundaries, and we need those boundaries. Number 9, which I'm sure a majority of people are using now because it is the going thing, and I literally cannot live without it, but grocery shopping, grocery pickup, and grocery delivery. If you have the ability to do it, you live in an area where it is offered, I highly suggest grocery pickup / grocery delivery. It saves you shopping time. It saves you money as well because you're not, again, in that store picking up random things. So grocery delivery and grocery pickup, you don't have to do the shopping. Let someone else do it for you. Do I believe that grocery shopping is very important for our children in any environment, homeschool or otherwise? Absolutely. We do go grocery shopping, but I don't grocery shop with my girls all the time. There are times where I do a grocery pickup. There are times where I do grocery delivery because I don't always have time to spend an hour, 2 hours in grocery stores. And we shop from a lot of grocery stores because of certain specialty foods that we have to have. So save yourself some time, order those groceries online, have them delivered, or go and pick them up where you don't have to go in the store and do the shopping. All right, I am down to this last one. I hope that by this point you have subscribed to the channel and clicked that notification bell so that you don't miss anything else here on the channel. And the last and final thing, number 10, routines. Yes, routines save us time. Here is how. Some people don't believe in routines. They think that routines are very limiting. I am a firm believer in routines. Bedtime routine, it saves everyone time, because what happens when we get in a routine is that we know how much time it's going to take for us to do something. Period. That is just how I feel about routines. Everyone's body adjusts to it. Our bodies adjust to routines. If you have the same routine when it's time for you to go to bed, your body says, oh, I'm used to doing this. I do it all the time. Now it's time to start winding down and going to bed. It's the same thing when you have a routine and you know that it's time for you to leave to take your child to dance. You know that if you leave at 5 o'clock, your child needs to be there at 5:30. That will give you about 10 minutes when you pull up for your child to get inside, use the bathroom, and go in. It's a routine. If you leave at 5:05, everything changes. More traffic, anything. Just that little bit of 5 minutes makes a huge difference. So keep a routine, and that will help you in saving time because you already know what you need to put into it in order to be where you need to be on time or whatever it is that you're trying to do. You have a routine. Just like we have routines in our homeschool lives, our personal lives should also be a routine as much as possible for certain things. Bedtime, breakfast time, lunch, things that you do every single day, all the time. Make it a routine. I hope this video was helpful for you. In the comments, I want to know, what is one thing that is like a huge time saver for you that you swear by and would share with all of us? Put it down in the comments below. I want to know all about it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell, give this video a thumbs up if you loved it, and I will see you right back here at The Life of Tillmans for another video next time. Bye.